Hello everyone, the Ontario election is in its third week with Election Day fast approaching. Upcoming Ontario events addressing environmental stewardship and what's the status of the work opposing MAID policies in Canada. It's Wednesday, February 19th, and this is Quick Updates. So in the third of our Ontario election podcasts, I had opportunity to chat with John and Daniel on questions like the sex ed curriculum, did Ford actually change anything? And gender ideology, will Ontario follow the other provinces, and the international shift on this issue?
Ford having smoothed over some of the questions from the sex ed of at what age do certain things get brought up, like certain sexual behaviors, when should you talk about those? I think Ford did a bit to smooth that over without making any kind of holistic changes to the sex ed. But outside of the sex ed curriculum, teachers are, as their policies say, school board policies say, trained to be trans advocates, anti-transphobia advocates, to integrate trans positive content in all subject areas. And schools still have these policies of we don't ask or tell parents, we don't need to, about their kids, questioning their identity, asking, am I in the wrong body, or even socially transitioning at school. So even saying at school, I'm going to have a different persona, a different name, different pronouns. Ontario does not require parental permission or even telling parents about that.
So be sure to stay tuned for the next episode coming out next Tuesday. Go to youtube.com/ARPA-Canada to watch the full podcast now. Here's Daniel with a further update on our Ontario election action items.
Hi everyone. The Ontario election is just over a week away, and candidates are out vying for your vote. As we approach the final week of the election period, reach out to your candidates, send them an email, give them a phone call, talk to someone who knocks on your door looking for your vote. Ask them what they would do to stop medical gender transitions for minors in Ontario. Or ask them what they would do to protect Ontarians from euthanasia. Other provinces, other countries are taking action on these two issues, but Ontario continues to ignore them. Head to our website to find more information about what you can do to engage with your candidates in this final week.
Thanks so much, Daniel. Ryan now joins us to highlight some of the upcoming events in Ontario.
Let's talk global warming. Now, you might think that that's tough to talk about after the weekend we just had here in Ontario. But to be fair, climate change is more than just talking about temperature shifts. So how should a Christian engage in the topic of climate change and environmental stewardship? The rest of the world's talking about this. How do we respond? Well, you're not going to want to miss this. The chapters of Wellington Guelph and ARPA Niagara and ARPA Oxford, they brought in a great speaker, Kelvin Beisner from the Cornwall Alliance. Now, Kelvin Beisner and the Cornwall Alliance, they've made it their mission to deal with the issue of climate change and environmental stewardship, and to do so using the lens of Scripture. So again, that's Thursday, February 27th at the Fergus North Canadian Reformed Church, Friday, February 28th at the Oxford Reformed Christian School, that's the ARPA Oxford Banquet, and Saturday, March the 1st, ARPA Niagara is hosting their banquet at the West Niagara Agricultural Center. So go to the link below, find out more details, and register today.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Now, the issue of MAID in Canada was a hot-button issue a year ago. At that time, the federal government delayed euthanasia for mental illness until 2027, the result of a successful push by you, our supporters, and other organizations to see this expansion delayed. Since then, things have gotten rather quiet. Maybe advocates have been resting on their laurels of the past year, but the reality is the situation is still very dire. Those with disabilities are still not protected in law. Currently, some Canadians living are more protected by the law than others. Discriminating against Canadians in certain conditions, thus, is defended by the Criminal Code. The temporary success of last February can't be enough. We need to continue to push against the expansion of euthanasia. The Care Not Kill campaign has been on the front lines of this issue. We've pivoted in recent months to focus on this issue of disability rights. Go to carenotkill.ca and send an email to your elected representative today. We cannot let this issue be forgotten. That's it for Quick Updates. Thanks to you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.